On Overdrive this week, we take a look at the upgraded 2025 Ducati Panigale V4 S, now lighter, faster and more rider-friendly. The luxurious and tech-packed Toyota Vellfire with its smooth petrol hybrid powertrain and the sleek, sustainable Honda QC1 electric scooter. Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I am Soini Dutt. The Ducati Panigale V4 S has had a glow up. It's lighter, faster and friendlier. In fact, it now rides like it's on your side and not like it's trying to throw you off. Let's take a look.
There was a time when the name Panigale struck fear into the hearts of mere mortals. And not for the reasons Ducati's PR team would have liked.
Yes, it looked like a superbike poster child. Yes, it had all the tech that you could think of. But riding it fast, that was a completely different story. It almost felt like Ducati had channeled the ghost of their MotoGP failure with Rossi into that motorcycle. It was fast, it was tech-laden, but it was so temperamental that even the doctor threw in the towel.
Early Panigales made you feel like you needed the physique of Stoner, the talent of Marquez, and the core of a yoga guru just to survive a fast lap.
It was the sort of motorcycle that you bought with track day dreams, but then sold it right after when you realized that you would rather be horizontal in bed than be at lean at 55 degrees and battle that monster. But Ducati did something unthinkable. They listened, they recalibrated. Somewhere along the way, they made sure that the Panigale V4 stopped hating its rider. It didn't feel like it anymore. It felt a lot friendlier. It became one of the fastest machines on the track and also became a lot more accommodating. And with that focus in mind, they created the new one to make it friendlier, more accommodating, more of a glory chaser.
So the idea was clear. Make every rider, rookie, racer or returning hero, quicker around the racetrack. But let's first talk about the new design before we get into the technicalities. Gone is the overtly robotic menace of the predecessor. In comes a more organic, emotionally charged silhouette. The wings and the ducts are no longer bolted-on afterthoughts. They are woven into the form, leading to a 4% drop in the aerodynamic drag.
The fairing is wider, not just for vanity, but for sanity. It's basically to make sure that even generously sized riders like me can nicely tuck in, hide behind that fairing at speed so that you're not battling a lot of that wind when that brutal acceleration kicks in. And that in turn reduces rider fatigue.
You also tuck in better now. Your elbow lines up with your knee, the tank grips are better placed and stealthily black, and even us generously sized folks get a seat that's wider by 50mm and longer by 35mm to move around more easily. The new pegs are narrower, 10mm higher, offer better cornering clearance and yet don't feel cumbersome even if you're going to ride your bike to the track day. Simply put, it's still aggressive, but not aggressively unwelcoming anymore. The forged wheels are over 2 kilos lighter. That's a coffee mug short of shedding a lap time penalty. And now they're designed to fit full-fat WSBK rubber as well. Pirelli's SCQ tires have also evolved, ready to handle more torque with less drama. And that brings us to the most controversial change, the double-sided swing arm.
What it does, it gives it better agility, it gives it better flexibility, it gives it better stiffness, at the same time better torque threshold, because you see the wheels now support the bigger tires or the wider tires from WSBK. That's more contact patch, that's more torque that can be delivered to those tires, which means the swing arm had to be strengthened too.
At full lean, over 50 degrees, the suspension can't do all the heavy lifting. That's where Ducati's revised frame steps in. It's lighter but offers more lateral stiffness, which means better agility and mid-corner stability. The new walls offer a wider, soft to stiff range, letting the bike adapt better to everything from backstraight bombing to casual canyon cruising. It auto-detects when you're riding normally and shifts to a comfort bias setup. Finally, it's a Panigale that won't punish you for wanting to go to a cafe more number of times than a track outing. The new Brembo High Pure calipers shave off 60 grams and deliver fade-free, high G braking performance that even hard track use couldn't compromise during our test. Ducati also went wild with the brake tech. 7 levels of ABS, corner-sensitive ECBS. Enter Ducati's brake-by-wire and MotoGP-derived rear brake logic.
The system works flawlessly and discreetly. It's no placebo effect. You will actually feel the difference when you're riding on the track when you're in race mode. Because when you're in the corner and if you're trail braking, or even if you're not using the front brake at all and you're at maximum lean, if the algorithm believes that there will be a need of some rear brake to stabilize the bike, to correct the corner or to make the line sharper, it will do that on its own with all the sensors that are on board. And mind you, these are not the same number of sensors. They are far lesser than what you have on a MotoGP machine. But it's all the learnings from MotoGP which are making your life easier and making you look like a hero in the bargain.
It effectively stimulates the stabilizing effect of rear trail braking without requiring any input from your right foot. It's constantly adjusting, adding or bleeding pressure, depending on how the corner is unfolding. It also means less abrupt weight transfer, more composure under hard braking, and a newfound ability to carry speed deeper into the corner with confidence. The engine is still a 90-degree V4, still a masterpiece and somehow still more powerful, now making 216 PS despite stricter emissions. The motorcycle is 6 kg lighter overall, including 1 kg shaved off the engine alone.
Ducati calls this their magic engine because it manages to give you the mid-range torque, the mid-range punch of a typical V-twin, but at the same time have the high revving performance of an inline 4. And that magic really works, especially when you're out on the track. That engine feels so tractable, so full of power that you run out of talent before the bike runs out of juice.
But the real wizardry lies in the electronics. The Ducati Vehicle Observer, a MotoGP-derived algorithm, can predict what the rider and the bike are about to do. Kid you not? It factors in lean angle, grip, fuel level, acceleration and braking forces to deliver torque, traction and wheelie control in the most intuitive way I've ever felt on a liter class machine. All you need to do is twist the wrist.
So to sum it all up, if the old Panigale was more like a win on Sunday, suffer on Monday kind of a machine, the new one is win on Sunday and grin on Monday kind of a motorcycle. And that is the kind of evolution that even Valentino Rossi would tip his hat to.
Well, it's time to head into a quick commercial break here on the show, but don't go anywhere because on the other side, get ready to experience the future of luxury and performance. The 2025 Toyota Vellfire is a masterpiece of design, comfort and cutting-edge technology. Welcome back, you're watching Overdrive. The 2025 Toyota Vellfire showcases a meticulously redesigned cabin brimming with intuitive, fingertip control luxury, enhanced interior space for elevated comfort and a refined 2.5-litre petrol hybrid powertrain for seamless performance. Kranti tells you more.
Only Japanese manufacturers and designers can manage this, I guess. Make an MPV, add luxury, and then turn this boxy silhouette into such a cool design, which is part of our daily conversation, even if it's not selling in high numbers. This is Toyota's Vellfire. This Vellfire is around 5 meters long, and the rear and the front almost straight. And I'm 6'3", wearing boots today, and look at the height of this car. So this is so tall. For example, this feature, look at this. There's one extra step for the driver, so you can understand the height of this car. And down the face of this car, which is again giving you, a reference point almost up to my waist. This huge front grille we don't see in any car, and so much of chrome, and still it's not looking over the top. So the drive and ride story of Vellfire has to start from the rear seat, second row seat, and this is called Executive Lounge version variant, and it has lots of unique or maybe exclusive features. For example, I'll start with this device because there are two devices. So there are two seats, and both the passengers can operate most of the features independently, so that they don't have to fight over controls. For example, this device, this controls almost everything. Okay, let's start with the shades. Left, I've selected this window, and I'll just open it. So this sunshade is open. The size is huge. You get a good view out of this window. Then you also have this control of shade, which is the roof. So there it is. Now that part which might remind you of BMW, because when you look at this screen, so you would say that, okay, BMW has a bigger one. This infotainment screen, which is around 15-inch, I guess. You can control the audio from this device only. Now let's talk about the seats. And this one is fitted with lots of extra features. For example, massage, alignment, adjustment, sliding, and then ottoman as well. If you want more space, I'll push this back to the max. And let's see what kind of space do I get. Okay, this is the space I get. And then let's see reclining. Wow. So you can almost lie down. So this is how we control all the features via this device, but there are lots of manual controls of buttons as well. For example, seat adjustment, you can slide it, you can recline it, you can open this sunshade from this button, side shade. And then you have this option of changing the ambient light color as well. It's very easy to use, and the access is again very easy. And you have climate control buttons over here on the roof. While we're discussing this business class experience, let's talk about this feature as well. So look at this, one small extra table for you, and vanity mirror as well. So now the third row test, and this one lever, just pull it, and you can slide the seat ahead. And now I'll just see what kind of space do you get. So this is the kind of space you get in the third row if you slide the second row to the max, and you still have this what you call boss mode in some of the brands that you can slide the front seat. This space, the kind of leg space and knee room, is okay for average Indian height passengers, I think. But again, this is comfortable for two passengers. So the front row view now, and first thing first, you can close and open the doors from single touch. And then you have this 14-inch screen which has most of the functions. Then you have engine start-stop button over here. Then you have two Type-C charging ports and wireless charging pad. And then this hidden spot for bottle holder or glass holder. Cabin overall looks very premium and top-notch. Look at the material which is being used. Soft touch material, a nice premium feel with this wooden inserts. Overall, I feel that it is solid, and you would like it. So first thing first, the engine bit, and that is something which is not very performance oriented, because we know that this is based on the same platform like the Camry we drove some time back. Practical car with adequate power and performance. In this case, the power and performance is something which you might long for, because if you push it too hard, if you're in a hurry, then the engine noise or the cabin noise is not matching with the kind of premiumness you feel inside. Look at this. So if you push it too hard, then this sound, this noise is something which is going to bother you. So this is ideal in cruising kind of speed, city kind of speed limits. If you talk about 60 and 70 speed limit and you're cruising, you're not pushing it too hard, then it makes sense. And it's comfortable, quiet cabin till the time you start pushing it. You can feel that this is more of a comfortable car, more on the comfort side of things, because the suspension is overall soft-ish. And if you're driving on the expressway, on really smooth roads, you would find this really comfortable and smooth. But if you're driving on a bad surface, patchy roads, erratic speed breakers, then you would feel that, okay, a little bit of extra rigidity would have worked, would have made this ride more consistent. So looking at all these aspects and features and performance and ride quality, who do you think is the ideal customer of a Vellfire? I mean, if you have an opinion, do let us know in the comment section. But what I feel, I think I can look at this car as a product for any urban executive class customer who is not into driving so much, who's not bothered about the performance so much. Style statement or a statement is more important for that customer. And that customer who needs a comfortable and stylish entry at an urban event. Vellfire would make sense for that kind of customer.
Up next, get ready to check out the Honda QC1. Sleek, eco-friendly and effortlessly smooth. Welcome back. You're with us on Overdrive. With a top speed of 50 kilometers per hour and a riding range of 80 kilometers, the Honda QC1 is stylish, sustainable and smooth, and it's all set to electrify your ride. I'll let Chris give you all the details.
As you can see, the more affordable model, the QC1. The QC1, well, although it comes with a fixed battery pack, you can charge this one at home, but it did seem to be lacking a bit of power on paper. Quite a familiar face by means of those LEDs in the headlamp unit, but as you can see, no DRLs out here. So that is one differentiating factor. Second being, the scooter is only available in one variant and you just get the drum brake on the front as well. So no disc brake up front. That's unique with this particular model. And the QC1, now this one retails for around 90,000 rupees ex-showroom. This scooter comes with a floorboard mounted fixed 1.5 kilowatt hour battery pack. That is the unique hub mounted motor, unlike the swing arm mounted motor on the Activa E. Very traditional in terms of its design, and twin shocks at the rear, 5 steps of preload adjustability. So not too much to write home about in terms of very unique features or unique ways of function. Now in terms of features, not as tech laden as something like the Activa E. You get a very plain Jane 5-inch reverse LCD instrumentation readout that gives you simple information on there about the scooter, percentage of charge or your SOC, your speed, and 2 trips to toggle between along with your odometer. Now this scooter gets 2 ride modes, economy and standard. Economy, it limits your speed to around 30 kilometers per hour, and in standard, well, it takes you to the top speed of 50 kilometers per hour. In terms of performance, this one isn't very engaging to ride, let's say, and in the city, in slow speed traffic, it feels about all right, but once you hit an open stretch of road where you want to stretch the scooter's legs, you'll feel a bit shortchanged on that account. Even when you hit the highway on the scooter, you feel like a sitting duck. You feel like you're going to get rear-ended at some point. It feels a bit scary at times, given a completely open highway scenario. Otherwise, in the city, the suspension is set up to be slightly on the stiffer side of things. 12-inch wheel up front, 10-inch wheel at the rear. That's an alloy wheel up front. Well, you have rather conventional twin shocks at the rear. Setup is sort of firm. You do feel the bumps. You do feel the sharpness of bumps, not as smoothened out as something like the Activa E. Getting on the scooter, not too much of a hassle, but your foot position, as you can see, is slightly higher than something like with the Activa E, because pretty much of the footboard mounted battery pack unit under there. So, but yeah, turning radius, not too bad. Now in terms of performance, well, performance isn't really the scooter's forte. You hit the throttle once again, well, just from 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, well, it just feels so lackluster in performance. You might want to really keep your balance in check because you tend to lose that momentum quite quick if you want to get off the mark in a jiffy. Now you get a good 26 liters of underseat storage with this one because yeah, your battery pack is under the footboard, out of the way, and so too your motor because it has a hub mounted motor out there. So yeah, you have 26 liters to work with. But yeah, your space is eaten into by the suspension units. As you can see, these two towers kind of robbing you of some room out there. But yeah, half-face helmet and some other goods and items you can pop in there without a fuss. This one, 330 watt charger, I think Honda have said that it will take you around 4.5 hours to charge from 0 to 80, and a complete charge will take around 6.5 hours. So yeah, it does take its time. No fast charge or anything like that with this particular one because yeah, heat, that would involve heat and that would pretty much damage the battery at the end of it. The Honda QC1 functions like most other e-scooter in this price bracket. Now, performance isn't the name of the game here, but low speed, short commutes are what this one is all about. And if you were skeptical about going in for an e-scooter from some sketchy, unheard of plan with products that appear to be rebranded once they cross over into our border, well, you now have a reputed name in the ring in the form of Honda. So I think that this will definitely work to the Japanese manufacturer's advantage out here.
Thank you for joining us on this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on our various social media platforms and do check out the latest videos on YouTube as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, drive and ride safe.